Hey everyone, and welcome back to Emerald Mystery Radio. I'm Sky, and if you don't know, this is a channel that lets others know they are not alone when dealing with day-to-day struggles, mental health struggles, life struggles, every kind of struggle. So today, I want to talk about relationships, the person you choose, and how that person can affect your level of prosperity. So when it comes to relationships, the person that you choose to be with is going to be the person that's going to help you, encourage you, lift you up, provide you with support. They're going to be your emotional anchor. They're going to be all of these things and more, or at least that's what they should be. Now, if you're in a not so good relationship with a person who is causing you to be emotional all the time, sad, depressed, angry, anxious, all these negative feelings, negative emotions, if they're causing you to be like that on a day-to-day basis, or if it's consuming your energy on a day-to-day basis, and you can start to see everyday things in your life that you were once excited and happy for deplete, then it's most definitely time to let that person go, because they're already affecting your level of prosperity and the good things that you were are supposed to be getting back in life, if that makes sense. So I know the way that I just said that was a whole bunch of word tangles, but to explain it in a better way, I was recently in a connection with a person who negatively affected my level of prosperity. Meaning, other time it was emotions, it was anger, it was frustration, it was, hardly having time for myself. This person was extremely insecure. This person was extremely controlling. And I had to let that person go. Now, in the time that I was with that person, there were blessings that I could have received that could have helped me, that could have bettered my situation, bettered my lifestyle. But I put that person in front of myself, which is something that you never want to do. You never want to put another person's wants or control in front of what you think or what you know is going to be best for yourself. Since I did that, I put my blessings on hold. I'm not going to say they were taken away, but they were just on hold. And during that time that they were on hold, it affected my level of prosperity. So I was not at my maximum level of prosperity that I could have been if I would have let that person go sooner. So who you choose is really, really, really important if you're even ready to be focused on relationships. And honestly, relationships in this society, I feel, is pushed so much and is so overly hyped to the point where it can be very overly consuming. If it's meant for you, it's gonna be for you. There's no need to rush it. You know, because when you rush things, you bypass red flags. I know firsthand, when things are rushed, you bypass so many red flags. You give so many second chances, third chances, fourth chances, and you get stuck in a hole. You get stuck because in the beginning, when they were really showing you who they were, you ignored certain things. Maybe they asked certain things of you that, when it comes to relationships, that's not to your standards. Your standards are not to be asked things so early on, or they were demanding little things that you didn't really agree with, but you did it because you were interested in this person. So always follow your gut and your intuition when it comes to someone new entering your life, especially on the level of a relationship. Always take that extra time to really understand, what are they coming into my life for? What are they bringing to me? Is it going to help me? Is it going to hurt me? Always pay attention to the early signs of a person. And then as the relationship progresses, the little things, because trust me, in the end, the little things add up. When it comes to self-care, like how we were talking about a couple videos ago, the little things add up. And that applies to, from my experience, everything in life. The little things add up. So if they're starting to do little things in the beginning, sprinkled in here and there, if it's saying, little sly slick comments, or if it's making decisions for the relationship and you are not included, or different little things like that, just little sprinkles of things throughout, um those are your signs. Take those as big signs. And like I said, don't be ashamed, don't be afraid to have standards or develop new standards, because we grow every day. There's things that we could tolerate when, last year, that we're not going to stand for or take this year. So all of this is so important when it comes to relationships and bettering yourself or your career or whatever it is that you're wanting to do. And when you find that person that is going to increase your level of prosperity, you're going to feel it and you're going to know, because life will seem easier. It will seem easier to express yourself, your ideas, your wants, and just everything, the aura that you have around you in your life, it's going to be lifted, it's going to be better. um, when it comes to financial things, that's going to be improving, because you're going to be with someone on the same frequency as you, especially when it comes to being responsible, not wasting money, you know um investing money into things that are going to have positive outcomes for yourself and your relationship, your life, your future. You're going to have someone on the same mental frequency as you, and you're gonna know, you're gonna feel it and see how everything plays out, and it's just gonna be so effortlessly. And that is why it is so important to take the time to actually figure out who it is that you're talking to. And another thing, this is my last this is my last tip, or however you want to call it. Another thing that I feel really helps is if you pay attention to the ways of a person when they are experiencing something that is emotional. It doesn't matter the level of emotion or the level of the event. It could be small, it could be big, but really pay attention to the emotions that they're giving. Are they overly angry, or is it going into the point where they're throwing stuff around? Is it going into the point where they're just doing things that aren't really fitting you? Like, it's too much, it's too out of control and wild for me to be dealing with at this stage in my life. I don't want to deal with something that's so like that. I don't want that. I don't welcome that into my life at the moment. You can also notice that earlier on into the talking stages of someone. And it doesn't have to be towards you. It doesn't have to be an argument with you. It could be something that they're talking to you about that's happening in their everyday life. If it's just to the point where, whoa, okay, that's a little bit too far from me, that's okay too. So really pay attention to that. um yeah, and that was my little rant. That was my video on relationships and how the person you choose can affect how prosperous you will be. And I hope I was able to help someone. And yeah, until next time, you guys, stay natural.